whispering or talking at all. I haven't done a video with speech in for several years now, so it may sound, and I've never done one whispering before, so it may sound horrendous, or it may sound fine. I have absolutely no idea. This is going to be a test. I don't even know if I'm going to upload this one. It really depends on how it sounds after it really depends on how it sounds afterwards, because it could sound absolutely awful. We will see. So, unfortunately, I also have a really loud keyboard, as you may hear. So, unfortunately, if you don't like keyboard sounds, it's sort of tough luck, because unfortunately you've got no choice, because I can't get rid of my keyboard, so yeah, you'll just have to deal with it. So what I was going to do as a quick little thing for today was just do some work around the North Warp area, where I'm just in the process of improving and decorating the area after claiming it as an admin to help reduce the amount of natural griefing in the area, which was caused by people just mining resources right next to the spawn. Not that there was anything wrong with that, it just looked bad. As you can see, if we go in here, you can see where people have been mining out dirt. There's some more over here as well, I think, somewhere. I can't remember where it is. But yeah, so a lot of this is warp sort of protection to help make it look nice for people coming to the North Warp, so that when they do come here, it doesn't look like a complete mess. So yeah, that is the general idea. It just makes it look less messy when people visit the area. Although I do have my music and sound turned quite far down, but that then to me sounded quite loud, so I'll just turn that down. So yeah, currently we have a little wheat field here on the left. We have a potato field. I never think the potato, carrots and other crops look as good as the wheat. So I may change this to a wheat field. I haven't quite decided yet, but for now it's potatoes. And then, because the spawn is in a natural sort of standard, as it were, Minecraft biome with the oak trees and birch trees, I have kept this theme with the spawn area by only planting or replanting oak and birch saplings. So if we look around this general area of the warp, this whole area here was completely devastated after people were harvesting the trees for the wood cutting XP for the wood cutting skill, and I have to admit half of it was me before I went and moved to a different area, but I decided after it just made the general warp look absolutely awful to terraform this area. So as you can see around in this bit particular in particular, it's quite flat, and you can see this bit here and this bit round here has been terraformed deliberately to help cover up some of the areas where people had been mining for dirt or other resources like cobblestone. It's similar to this area over here. So what you have to imagine is this little tiny bit here and how this looks, and this is what this entire area looked like. It was not in a good way at all. So yeah, it really, I'm just telling people this just for those who don't know and are curious about what's going on here, but also if you come into the spawn area and try and build something directly next to spawn, obviously you can't. At least you now know why you can't. And hopefully that's given you enough information as to what's going on here. Here we have the Great North Road, so there are quite a few of the large group or individual bases near the North Warp. Just going to not cheat, but I'll just hasten the day so you can see what I'm doing in this video. So, yes, the road is connecting different bases from the North Warp. So, if we fly out over here, you'll see the road goes out towards the water. And basically I am going to build a little dock area here because out into the water we have well, it was a sugarcane farm, I assume it still is. Yes, we have a sugarcane farm which is owned by Demi, and then over here in the water you have my main, what I call my vanilla base. So this is the base I have when I am playing properly and in survival mode. So basically when I'm in creative doing stuff that's wide classes server building, I make sure that I either deposit my actual survival items in my base, or I keep them in the top row of my creative inventory. So these are my actual tools, like my axe. So I keep all those to one side, and then when I get back into survival mode, I get rid of all the items I've been using for building. This here is another structure in the North Warp that's owned by me. This, I was told, was some sort of contraption for training the agility, or not agility, I've been thinking of RuneScape. I was told this was for training, what's it called? Acrobatics. And so it looked ugly as it was with the cobblestone pillar. There was also a hole that I dug here, so if you travel all the way up to the top and fall down, you get that achievement. I can't remember what it's called now. The one you get for falling a height from the world height all the way down to the max bottom height without dying. Can't remember what that achievement's called now, but yeah, if you want to do that achievement, just come to this tower and you can now do it. But yeah, basically this tower I built to just cover up that existing platform, just because it looked really ugly, and instead of removing it because it was something that someone had made and was potentially still using, because in survival they wouldn't have had the resources or the time to build something like this around it for such a simple contraption. I just thought I would do that, and it just makes it look a bit nicer, helps make the warp area not look such of a mess, and it also means that people aren't then going to say that it's a structure that needs to be removed. Broadcast, let it be known, TP, smell it. I wonder who's done that. We will find out, maybe. So, also along this road, we have a few other individuals who have been helping me or getting a bit more involved in doing stuff along the road. Mostly Jake and His Royal Highness himself, Mr. Ethan Wobbs. That Ethan, not the other Ethans, just that Ethan. So, yes, we've got some little signs, and there's some cave down here, which as I understand it, is connected to some of the lore that the guys have been creating, which can be found in the lore section on Discord. So this here is another section of the road which has been decorated by Ethan, I assume, and here we've got like a little tavern or inn that they have built, with a few other little things in there, and then we've got this fire watchtower here, and then, well, there's that there, but then this is the main, Ethan's main domain just here. So as you can see, there's paths and bridges that link the North Warp to his area. If you are to carry on down this track, it will take you to Emma's base, and there's also another base just here that it connects to. I can't remember who owns this one off the top of my head. And then if you carry on past Ethan's main base, it continues to someone else's area. And again, I can't remember off the top of my head whose area it is that it connects to past Ethan's base. You can also see here as well, though, that other people are setting up shop along the road, or in some cases there are people who set up their areas before the road even existed, and if they come back on, or if they make a build, then like this thing here, it can be connected to the road, so people can go to their areas, or people like Medic can go around and do a video of the road and showcase everything that's along it. Yeah. Here we also have the museum that Ethan has built, and this here, which is meant to be some sort of information centre or information point, which are sort of like in the vicinity of the North Warp. But as I said before, because we want to have protection of the warp, the buildings are set back just so when people come to the warp, they're not overwhelmed by lots of things going on. Oh, this is also my horse, Shadowfax. So, one of the things I was contemplating doing was making maybe a bit of the path going over here like this. Like that. Leaving this area in the middle where I could put a pond or something decorative. Probably will be a pond, or maybe a custom little tree or something, I don't know. Probably will be a pond. I originally decided it was going to be a pond, so it will probably be a pond. So let's just do this. There we go. And then add some texture to the path. Nope. So where that gravel just fell down is where this area, as I said previously, had been mined out by different people to get resources, and so in some areas it's just one block of dirt with a large cavity underneath it, like here. Or actually this could be an area, yeah, no, that's just a bit of a cave that I've covered up, but yeah. So yeah, oh, that's just for me flattening out the area. Let's have a look. Does that look okay? Yep, that looks fine. So if we now go for that and go for that. Sorry about that, just needed to cough. I was just that might need to be a bit bigger, I think. Ah, there you go, look, so you can see another bit here. I think I would have showed you that bit, but that's just where people have been harvesting stuff in the past that I've then covered up just so it's how's that looking? So I want to have it fill the gap, but I don't want to make it look like that the pond was put in to fill the gap. I want to make it look like the path went round the pond, so I'm going to leave it probably like this with some areas around the edge just to plant some trees and other plants. Now you may be looking at this thinking, oh my god, what is he, when it comes to doing certain things with this, and you're thinking, oh my god, what the hell is he doing? This is just the way I have do things like this. There could be easier and more efficient ways in creative to make these, and yes, we do have World Edit on the server, and I do use it mostly for clearing out large areas, but for doing smaller things and stuff like that, I prefer to just do it by hand because you have more control over what you're doing. Also, sometimes if you just are watching something in the background or listening to something, it's nice to just sort of sit there and methodically tap away at the mouse, just mining all the blocks. There's something quite I don't know, there's just something quite relaxing about just continuously mining. So I think that looks like it's going to be deep enough. I'm just going to replace the layer of stone for the first two bits to make it look more Minecraft natural, because in Minecraft you don't have one block of dirt and then stone, you have at least three, if not more, in most places. Daisy, so there we go. That was my horse. I was like, what was that noise? Oh, I've said I was just going to do that. Oh well, I'll leave that bottom section there, but I see that's just me getting carried away. So now what we will do is we will now cover the top of this pond in red wool. Doesn't have to be, it could be anything, but I'd like to make it obvious. So I will now just put it today. Watch everything burn. Oh, I was going to say who's on the server. There was quite a few people on earlier, but this morning. But I think I'm now in the crossover point between when the people on the other side of the planet leave and when the Europeans and UK players come on, so hopefully there'll be a few more people joining in a bit, but we shall see. It is coming up in the UK to the end of the summer holidays, and we've also got a bank holiday this weekend, so some people could be busy, but again, as Medic said to me the other day, most of our players are American, so that's why for me sort of late morning or early morning can be really quiet and a good time to do things without disturbing people, because there aren't a lot of people on. Now, one of the things I hate with an absolute passion is flowing water where it should be still. Now, you can usually hear it. The shaders is ever so slightly annoying because it doesn't always make it obvious where it is sometimes because of how the water in this shader packs looks. You can't always tell if the water has filled out into a block or whether it's flowing, so sometimes it's just keeping an eye on it. So once I've done this, that will be it, because I don't need to have every single water block within this pond to be an actual water source block. I just need the top one to do it, and it will flow down and fill the pond up. So I will bone meal inside the pond as well in a minute, just so there's some stuff growing in there to make it look a bit more natural and not just look like a man-made hole in the ground sort of thing. I don't know whether that's going to be. Let me do that. There we go. Right, so that should be okay. Have I got bone meal? Yes. So just have a bit of a bone meal in the pond. absolutely love bees, so I put beehives everywhere and bees everywhere, so the North Warp is now covered in bees. So yeah, don't judge me, I just like bees. Let's just do this for the moment, just so there is some level of detail. So we've got the pond dug, we've got the grass around the pond. That doesn't look too bad. I think I'm going to plant maybe 1 or 2 trees around it. Let's have a I like it when the trees are slightly taller. The worst thing is when you end up planting one and it's one of the really low down ones and it just looks awful. I think I'm going to plant one there. Oh, there you go. Look, see, it's like it just looks bad. It's in the way. It just looks terrible. So we'll just get rid of that tree. Those trees are fine for decorating areas like up here and over there if it's somewhere where you don't need to go, but you always want them to be at least 3 blocks high for paths, just so they're not obstructing it in any way. There we go, that's better. And then you have trees like this big one here, which I deliberately put blocks around the sapling so it made it grow tall, just so it's a bit more of a feature in the corner, and I can also have the hive in it, and I can put the lantern in it as well, make it a bit more of a feature tree. What else are we going to do here? Maybe I'll put some drip leaves in there, make that look a bit. One there, one there, maybe one there, and there. Just again to give it more detail. And then not forgetting the old school water decoration in the lily pads. Everyone always seems to forget lily pads now with everything else. Lily pads are sort of like, and they don't look as good either. They just look a bit terrible compared to the other ones now. They just look a bit basic almost. I think if they could maybe retexture them ever so slightly, but I'm not sure how you could make it look any better, to be honest. Unless you have it where you can get clusters of them with maybe a lily flower, or you have it where there is a chance for the leaf to spawn with a lily flower on it or something like that. That could be good. There we go. So I think for now that is good. I'm not going to put a little pontoon or anything into the pond because it's really small and we're right next to the main sort of ocean area anyway, so that seems a bit of a waste of time and a bit pointless. So I think for now I will leave that like that, and I might do a bit more titivating to it later. And then I will have also decide on what to do here. I might put another wheat field in this bit, or I might just plant some trees, maybe put a little tent here or something. I'm not sure. We'll have a look at that. And then I've also got to do, so the area that's sort of claimed goes from here up to there, down to there and around. There is more stuff claimed in this area, but some of that is where I've claimed other people's builds who have not claimed it themselves, just to protect it and also to keep it not necessarily safe, because we're pretty good with people not griefing on here, but wants to protect the area and they haven't for whatever reason, I've just gone round and claimed some of the areas just so we don't get any issues with people building on areas that people were already building on but hadn't claimed. So that is it, that everyone, the main thing to remember, always claim your stuff, and if you don't have enough claim blocks or you can't afford claim blocks, because I can't remember whether claim blocks are now where you have to pay for them again now or not, because there was a thing for a bit where paying for them didn't actually work. I don't know whether you still have to pay for them again now, but yeah, always claim your stuff. If anything happens and you don't have enough claim blocks, the best thing to do is claim small bits in the general area that then prevents someone else just putting a ridiculously large claim over the top of all of yours. That would be my recommendation. So if you say add that, this and this, and you didn't have enough claim box to claim this entire area, just claim that, claim that, claim that. And then if it just prevents anyone else coming along and just putting a massive claim over the top of all of it, because you've got little ones there and there. And then if they were to say claim the land in between it, one, that would be a bit of a weird thing to do, because what are you going to put in those sort of areas? And that's where you can then come and speak to myself or some of the other admins, because in some cases that could be because someone has deliberately griefed you by not necessarily building, but they have deliberately claimed around your claims to prevent you either expanding or to prevent you getting out of a particular area. So if anything like that does happen, just let us know. Oh, look at that, I'm just about to end the video and the medic has turned up. Oh dear, well, we will see now. I'm going to end that video here, so that was just a little bit of a tour around the North Warp, a bit of an explanation of what's going on and what I've been doing, and then just a little build over here, just as something else to do, so there we go. Right, so we'll now go and end this video, and I will, if you see this video, it means it was good enough to post. If you don't see this video, it means it wasn't good enough to post, so it doesn't matter, because you won't have seen it. Right, so there we go. I will have a bit of a think of what I might do for another next video, if I do one. I might do one of me building something a bit more substantial, we shall see. So there we go. For now, that will be it, so I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.